to the 3 Minute Warning. My name is David Rooney, and this week we are joined by Coach Rob Ellis. Rob, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So, Rob, you are currently the president of Shuswap Minor Football, but you've been coach in pretty much every aspect of the game throughout your career. Can you give us some highlight points of your coaching career?
Yeah, it goes back over 30 years, I think. I started with the Leopards and the Bantam Leopards in Cloverdale in the '87, I believe, and all the way up to the Broncos last year, Junior Broncos. Along the way, stops at UBC as a running back coach. Unfortunately, I was only there for a year, and I went and took a principal job up north. And they won the Venue Cup the next year, so that goes to show you how valuable I was. Kidding. Then the Air Force in the early '90s, also as the OC there for 3 years, and program was developed along the way by Dan Hasty and Dave Bristow, and we went from 1-7 team to semifinal contender against Surrey. Actually, in the semifinals in '93, I believe it was. Onwards, joined Shuswap Minor back in '99 to help them grow their program. They just started, and over the last 20 years, I've been off and on with them. I believe Salmon Arm, as a small town, has 7 interior championships, 2 provincial championships, and a bunch of successful seasons through Adam all the way up to Bantam. So pretty proud coming from a small community to be able to compete against the likes of Richmond and West Side and Abbotsford for sure. I still remember some of those championships with 12 men that we lost to Abbotsford in the days back in the early 2000s. So, and after that, I went to the Junior Broncos as an OC and then a head coach twice. Came back after a decade after the first one, and we had a tough season with a lot of 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, and so told my wife I would only do it for a year because she's actually the boss. So I came back here. Shuswap Minor was kind of sliding under the radar. Lots of people left the program, especially people with the knowledge of what it used to be like. And so we're in the midst right now of bringing it back to life, and hopefully we can field some competitive teams this year.
Out of all the teams you've coached and championships won, what would be the one that sticks out to you most?
Oh, the one with the Bantam Chargers, I believe it was 2015. We, again, coming from a small town, we didn't have tons of players, but we had some quality athletes and some quality kids. It was an amazing season. Just the relationships that were formed on the team and the ability these children had, these kids had to play and to fight through adversity. We had to travel to the coast for that season, so there are no Bantam teams in the interior. So we traveled. Every single home or away game was in Vancouver and Richmond, and we were lucky enough that the junior hockey team lent us their bus. So put a lot of miles on that year.
Well, and you're also a school administrator. You're a principal?
Yeah, I've been an administrator since '97, and currently principal at Highland Park in Armstrong and BC here.
So do you tie in the educational aspect, academics, as well as athletics in your programs?
Not in the elementary and the junior. Well, to tell you the truth, we tell our coaches we don't coach the game, we teach the game. So we make sure that every moment we can is a teachable moment for the kids, and we don't care where they are. It's how far we can bring them and how far they can bring themselves. But funny you said that. Back in 2003, we had an interior Bantam team that was massive, and I was a vice principal at Jackson High School. So I would go all the kids that were getting in trouble and say, okay, you're on football, you're on football, you're on football. It's better than giving them detentions, right? So we were able to put together quite the team, and unfortunately, we lost to Abbotsford in the championship or the semifinal game down on the coast.
Well, growing the game in your area is not just about getting the kids on board, but it's all about growing the coaches as well. You're a BCPFA facilitator as well, being able to certify coaches and get them on the right path. What's that been like for you in the Shuswap area?
Well, again, I just got back to the program, so we're slowly trying to get as much interest as we can from parents and from those that in the community that might want to help out. So we're offering football 101 courses to anybody that would like to just learn about the game more so than they do right now. And so far, we've been very lucky to get some Armstrong parents involved in some more Sam Arm people involved, including kids that have gone through the program and moved back to the area. It's good to see that they're wanting to help out because now they have kids that are 5, 6, 7, and uh, various ages that can play in the Shuswap.
Well, if any coaches in the area want to learn the game of football, they should reach out to you on the Shuswap Minor Football website.
Definitely, definitely. Always looking for more people to help out and more people to support the game.
So, speaking of support, we have the game 2021 proposed for this year. And now that it looks like as BC's opening up stages, where it looks like we're going to be able to have some contact football this year, which is incredibly exciting. You've been part of Exposure Games for many years. How important is the game 2021 coming up for you and Exposure Games in general?
I think it's much needed for the province for these kids to showcase their abilities. And what a great venue for relationship building. The one thing that I've always marveled at is how well the kids got along together on both teams. It's such a nice thing to see. And at this point in time in our COVID history, I think it's important that the kids have an opportunity to get out and start playing again once they're allowed to. And these venues offer the best platform to showcase their abilities and to actually get out and have some fun and quality
Well,
people coach.
absolutely. And so the game 2021 is a BC versus BC game, but over the years I've watched you coach against Alberta, and I don't know. I think you're undefeated in the spring games.
I believe so. Yeah. Not that I'm counting, but yeah, I think we are. But there have always been really tight games. The Alberta kids are and coaches are quality people too. So those rivalries were always fun to be part of. Especially the first game, I was brought into the mix. I think we won in the last play of the game, so quite exciting and quite the venue and platform, like I said before.
Those are always the ones you remember the most.
They
Just to
are.
wrap
Yeah.
it up, I'm sure you're incredibly proud of Gabe Wallace and what he's doing down in the U.S. Playing for the University of Buffalo. You want to share some experience?
Sure. I mean, I've known Gabe since I believe he was 12 years old, the junior bantam, and he came through the Kelowna and then to Salmon Arm programs, and he was part of our bantam championship 9 man. I mean, Gabe is six. He's measured at 6'7", 6'6", 315, 320, something like that. But he can run I believe he runs a sub 540. So he can move. He's a big kid, but more importantly, he's one of the most quality individuals I've ever met. He's just a straight A student, just personable. Still texts me occasionally, and I text him back, or I text him. He texts me right back. I'm just so proud of all that he's done, and know that he has a future outside of football, and he's just going to be a remarkable human.
As a longtime volunteer for community football myself, I absolutely agree. When you see one of the kids that grew up through your program being successful, you take a lot of pride in that. So that's very cool. Rob, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate having you on. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we sign off?
No, just thank you for the opportunity, and wish you a great day.
Thank you very much, Rob. This has been the 3 Minute Warning. My name is David Rooney. Tune in next time for another great interview.